Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News Midday starts now.
And good morning. Thanks for tuning in to 23 ABC News at 11 a.m. I'm Mike Hart.
And I'm Danielle Kernkamp. We begin with the winter weather hitting all across the county, affecting roadways on one of the busiest travel days of the year.
Let's start off with 23 ABC's Amani Stevens. She joins us live at the summit on the Grapevine with how conditions are looking right now. Amani?
That's right, Mike and Danielle. Today is the busiest day to travel. And take a look behind me on the I-5 South. It's pretty busy, but things could get worse as more rain and snow is expected to make landfall this afternoon. So if you're heading to Southern California, maybe Los Angeles, San Diego, anywhere down south, now is the perfect time to leave because traffic is picking up. But thankfully, CHP is no longer pacing traffic because this morning we told a different story. Snow was coming down and more is expected this afternoon. But right now, all lanes are open. Caltrans have been moving through this morning, plowing through the snow. Again, now is the perfect time to make your way if you're planning for those Thanksgiving travel plans, because today is really going to get even more busier this afternoon as people get off of work and they're making their way down to Southern California. But for now, we're going to take it to Daniela, who is in Tehachapi, where more snow is also out there. How's it going out there, Daniela?
Snow still steadily coming down here into Tehachapi, but not as hard as it was this morning. We spoke with some locals and travelers on how this is affecting their holiday.
Tehachapi woke up covered in snow this morning.
That's why we live up here. It's great.
What started as a windy rainfall.
We were not expecting this. However, my cousin, she's driving right behind us, and she was like, it's supposed to be snowing. Can you let me know how it goes? And I sent her a video and it was only raining. I'm like, it's not raining. It's 39 degrees. It's not going to snow. And then this happens.
A steady snowfall by the 6 o'clock hour this morning. Flurries dropping straight to the ground of the main roads.
We were just driving through and it was nothing. And then suddenly it was completely white. It was amazing.
Drivers from all over bearing the winter storm to see their families for the holidays.
We're from Phoenix, so we never get weather like this. And we're going to Visalia to see my grandparents for Thanksgiving.
Many saying the slick roads are not for the faint of heart.
I am not driving today. Not at all. I will not drive in this. Luckily, my husband, he's a CDL driver. I'm not doing it. He can do it.
For some, a frozen tundra. For others, a winter wonderland.
Get through it. Have fun.
Enjoy the weather?
Yeah.
As I mentioned, that snow still falling here in Tehachapi. You can see that thick layer of snow here on the side of the road, but then it's a totally different story on the road. That snow melting and turning into slush. Again, the biggest tip for travelers right now is just to take it slow. It's better to be safe than sorry, and if you're traveling for the holidays, you want to make it there. So if you're traveling, definitely just take it slow. Other drivers are taking it slow, so just follow their lead. For now, we're live in Tehachapi. Daniela Garrido, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
I think she's been having a lot of fun up there, too.
She made a snow angel earlier.
Did she really?
No.
I bet she did. I bet she did. All right, Elena, how's it looking right? Okay, are we in between systems? Are we now just seeing bands? What are we doing?
So both, right?
Okay.
So what we had this morning was that cold front digging through. So here's the thick of it, just pushing down into the desert. We still have some snow there. You saw it falling on Daniela. It's much lighter than it was this morning. Behind the cold front itself, the heart of the storm system is onshore of Oregon. It's going to actually dig down a bit heading into tomorrow. So the cold front this morning was the bulk of it, but we'll continue to have bands of rain and snow for the next 36 hours. That continues all day into today, all day tomorrow, tapering off for our mountains by early Friday. So there's a look at just a little bit of that snow left in Tehachapi. We're there at freezing right now. Like she just showed you on those roadways, it's slushy, it's really watery. 5 o'clock tonight, sunsets, boom, all of that refreezes into thick sheets of ice. So you're going to be driving along, minding your own business, and then whoop, there goes your back end. It's going to get very slippery on those roadways. Keep that in mind, especially over those passes as the night goes on. For now, a quick look at rain totals since about midnight. 5 inches in Tehachapi, that's rain and snow. Here in Bakersfield, more than half an inch of rain and more to come. Your Futurecast is next.
All right, let's take you back down south LAX. Here you go. Live pictures right now from their stationary camera looking to the west as traffic is pulling into LAX. And Yeah, when we first got in this air this morning, it was jam-packed beginning at 5 o'clock. It was full, and as you can see, we've been staring at this camera now, just sort of watching it over the hours, and traffic is creeping along. They're expecting 238,000 people to fly out of LAX today. That's right, they're also expecting about 113,000 cars will pass through the airport at some point. Officials say with all these record number of travelers, you also throw into the mix the major construction projects that are going on. So they just continue to advise, and thank goodness the grapevine is open, but leave yourself plenty of time to get there.
I mean, we've been talking about the roadways and those conditions all morning, but if you're planning on flying, you're definitely not going to be alone. This is from a website called Flight Aware, and you can just see how many planes are in the sky right now. So they're saying more than 11,000 airborne aircraft. That's in this moment. Millions of people expected to take to the skies today. But because of the bad weather all over the country, there's already plenty of delays and cancellations. So if you are heading out, be sure to call your airline. But take a look at this. This is just a little cute, what's it called? X-Wing? Star Wars X-Wing? They have that on there. That's a United flight, so I guess they have a little partnership. But yeah, look, Star Wars. And it's on time. That's another great piece of news right there. Yeah, lots of travel going on today.
All right, we have new details and other news this morning into that deadly street racing crash from Sunday. Court documents indicate the man who allegedly caused that crash was traveling at more than 130 miles an hour at the time of impact. Investigators examined the data recorder in the red Mustang driven by 50-year-old Ronald Pierce, and it reported the car was traveling at 133 miles an hour on Old River Road when it slammed into a minivan driven by Maria Navarro. It went on to read that Pierce, quote, drove so recklessly and dangerously that he displayed indifference to human life. Navarro was pronounced dead at the scene. Her 2 grandchildren were airlifted to Madera Children's Hospital where they're undergoing treatment. Pierce is facing a charge of second-degree murder in addition to gross vehicular manslaughter, DUI, and other charges. His bail has been set at $1 million. He's due back in court on December 4th. Investigators say the driver of the Dodge Ram, who was allegedly racing Pierce's Mustang, also has charges pending. That case has been submitted to the Kern County DA. The city of Delano needs more volunteers for a community luncheon tomorrow. A free Thanksgiving luncheon set for 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. After a 2-year hiatus, the event is back on at Tony's Firehouse Restaurant in Delano. Volunteers are still needed to serve the meal, which is expected to feed about 1,000 people. Those wanting to volunteer can call 586-2001 or call the Delano Chamber of Commerce.
Tomorrow, the Blessing Corner Ministries will serve 400 meals during their annual Thanksgiving meal at their facility on Union Avenue between 11:30 and 2:30. Not to mention another 125 meals at another location to benefit the homeless, and 200 meals will be delivered to neighboring seniors and veterans. It's for free to all who can benefit. Meantime, County Fire has released a list of things that you should not feed your furry guests this week. According to KCFD, do not feed them turkey skin, drippings, gravy, turkey bones, stuffing, sage, raisins, grapes, onion, or garlic. They also suggest to not feed them any nutmeg, nuts, mushrooms, corn on the cob, chocolate, of course, yams, or bread dough. All good tips this week.
Yeah. Just resist that urge to reach down and do one of those.
It's strong.
I know.